Okay, the cut is finished. I'm going to start weeding. I've already weeded the one portion of the seine, so I'm going to save the last for you. I'm doing this over my light pad, which does really truly make things a little easier. So I'm going to try to hold it because you have to. It's very hard to see the cut lines on heat transfer vinyl, and so the light pad is a big help. I am going to still, because it is white on white, I'm going to hold this up just a little bit and get my end started. Okay, again, using my little Harbor Freight tool, which I love. Okay, and then I can go ahead and just pull. Remember, we roll, we don't pull up. If you find that, and this font, this Breezy Beach font, has a lot of little small, strange cut lines in it. So of course I would pick something that was a challenge. But see how stretchy the Creative XP vinyl is? I mean, look at that. Look at that, okay? So it makes weeding, I'm not being gentle here, trust me. I am just pulling this. You can see how it's stretching. And it just comes away so easily. It makes it possible for you to use this product on garments that have a little stretch in it that normally you'd have to buy a product that was manufactured specifically for that. So I love it. It works. It's easy to work with, but look at the stretch in this. Okay, I am not being gentle here. So that is done. Now I'm going to lift this up a little bit off the light pad so I can see how to remove my interior pieces that are in the letters that I want to remove. There we go. When you're weeding, especially on HTV, remember to check the mat when you think you're finished and make sure that you have no strays anyplace. If they're in the transfer tape area and you press them onto your garment, they are there. Okay? So double check. Don't just jump up, slap this on the shirt, and keep going. Make sure you don't have any stray pieces that could have fallen off your tool or whatever, or your hands. Because, again, there's no adhesive here, so it's very easy for that to happen. All right, now I'm going to just double check my design and make sure I have weeded everything that was supposed to be weeded. I have everything that's supposed to be there. See, I have a little piece right there that fell off. And that's what I'm saying. It can happen, and then that would have been a part of the permanent design. Okay, we're ready to go to the heat press, and I'll meet you over there in just a second. Okay, I'm at the heat press, and yes, this is a different press than you saw in the first video. We'll talk more about that later in a different video. This particular one has the bottom platen pulls out, so I don't have to work under the heat. I'm going to do a pre-press for about 5 seconds. So I'm just going to kind of get this on here in the area where the design is going to be placed, and push it back and hold this down and let it press for about 5 seconds. You don't really have to press the whole garment, just the area where you are going to put your design. And the reason that you're doing that is because you want to get rid of any moisture that might be in the garment. And if there's moisture in the air, there's moisture in the garment. I also like to take a lint roller and just roll over the surface and make sure I have no debris of any kind in that area. Okay? Now, I'm gonna, my heat press I have attached a Teflon sheet to the top platen. This is where the heat comes from, and it's attached with magnets on the top. And then on the bottom one, this particular heat press has a Teflon cover that you can purchase for the bottom one. But you can always just take another Teflon sheet and attach it on the side, so that you have to keep handling it during the whole pressing process. Okay, so now I'm going to put this back on here. I'm going to move the neckline area off the press a little bit. I am as I've said before, pretty good at centering without having to use measuring devices, but if you need to, do it. Okay? All right, take my seine, and I am going to center that, this area here. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. The nice thing about working with HTV is that because your image is on transfer tape, when you place it on your garment initially, you can always move it around, and get it placed the way you want it or you like it. Okay? All right, so I'm going to push that back, and I'll push the whole thing back here. And this has to press Creative XP regular heat transfer vinyl, presses at 320 degrees for 10 to 15 seconds on a heat press. If you're using a regular home iron, and you can do that, the instructions for that are on the package. I've done it. It works fine. Okay? All right, so here we go. This is a semi-automatic press, so when it reaches the 3-second mark, you'll hear a beep, and then it will pop up. Okay? It's a cold peel, so I'm going to let it have its time to cool down, and I'll come back and peel this off so you can see the great end result.